Jeans, of course, are an American staple, and if the weather ever cools off, we will get a chance to wear them again. Here to tell us more today is Raquel Greer Gordian of Greer Image Consulting, talking about the best jeans to highlight or balance your shape with styles that are in for fall. And you're gonna hear me complain about jeans a little bit today, Raquel, but it's always so good to see you, my friend. Good morning.
Good to see you too, Rosie.
Yeah, the big complaint I have is that jean lengths are blowing my mind. It's not going all the way down to the ground, and it's not halfway up your calf. Like, it's hitting like right at the top of your foot, and it makes me feel like high waters. And for anyone who grew up in a certain era, that was like a horrific thing.
Yes.
That and socks that showed.
Yes, and you always gotta do styling. Like, styling is such an important part of anything that you wear. So sometimes that means rolling jeans, sometimes it means tailoring them, sometimes it means getting them long and then having a little bit taken off. You know, there always is adaptations for every body type, and you know, for every height. You just got to make it yours.
Yeah, really good point. And so you're calling it the A and B of image consulting.
Yes.
Accentuate and balance. What do you mean by that?
Yes, absolutely. So with any body type, you're doing two things. You're accentuating your attributes, whether that's your waist, your hips. If you want to accentuate your shoulders, any part of your body type, you're really using kind of your natural assets. And then the clothes are really going on that canvas to highlight you. And then balancing too. So an hourglass, your shoulders are going to be the same width as your hips, but with other body types, you might have broader shoulders, you might have broader hips. So you're kind of balancing those attributes so that everything kind of looks poised together, polished, and it really accentuates you.
Yeah, so this does include a little bit of knowing about your own body type. We're talking about mine first, but of course, if you need a little help, Raquel can help you figure yours out. Yeah, okay. Let's talk about the pair, which basically means you're a size or 2, which is me, smaller on top than you are on bottom.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So your hips are wider than your shoulders. And then also a big part of being a pair is that you have a defined waist. So for you, the best jeans are going to be flare, which I love. Flare are so fun because they're such a retro fit.
Yeah.
I feel like you could wear them with some like white platform sneakers, but they're so fun with like heels going out too. And the thing about that is when your hips are a little bit wider, you have that width at the bottom of a flare, so it's balancing that right there.
Yeah, I do feel like wide leg flares like these, I mean, when I look in the mirror, I feel balanced for the first time in a long time.
Yes.
And so good to know to wear them with like sneakers and things like that now that we've got like platform comfortable shoes coming in.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a fun time in fashion. All right, let's talk a little bit about the inverted triangle. And I think this deserves a little explanation because someone may not understand, like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so it's basically the opposite of a pair. So with an inverted triangle, you can have a defined waist or you can have a waist that's a little bit more similar in width to your hips. But basically the defining characteristic of an inverted triangle is going to be that strong shoulders.
I think of
across the
swimmers.
Top. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Very much an inverted triangle. And so with that, because you're balancing the shoulders, you actually can go back to the flare, even though it's a completely different body type, kind of the opposite of the pair. With this, you're balancing the hips, and then the flare can also balance the shoulders. And then in addition to that, you can do a wide leg. So again, because you're wider on top, you can have a little bit of width on bottom. So like the flare, you can have width at the bottom, but it can be all the way through. And then also the barrel denim. So with
what's barrel? What does that mean?
Yes, it's definitely, there's a little bit of width. It's kind of that like boyfriend denim, that dad denim, that really kind of like oversized denim. So again, if you're bigger on top, you can have a little bit more width on bottom to balance that shape as well.
And I'm impressed to see like how many times we can use the same shapes. So that's like a good thing. You know, if you're not sure, basically I'd buy a flare.
Yes.
But let's talk about the rectangle. And this to me usually means someone who is pretty darn in shape or doesn't carry a whole lot of extra body weight. So
Yes.
somebody who is like perfectly symmetrical top and bottom.
Yes, very much kind of that marathon runner body type. And so for this, if you want to accentuate the body type, you're gonna go with the skinny. They're gonna look so good in skinnies because you're basically balanced throughout your entire body type. So you can do a shape like that. But then also, because you have kind of the same shape throughout, you can also try a straight leg. So they're gonna be a little bit more oversized, not as much as the barrel, not as much as the wide leg, but they're also gonna be looser if you want a little bit more of a relaxed fit. But straight leg is also gonna be straight up and down, so it still follows that rectangular line.
Gotcha. So the skinnies are kind of like the skinny line, and then the straight legs are kind of the straight line, but you're giving yourself a little bit more space to play with.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. Yeah, and I know you can play with a little bit more volume sometimes when you're a rectangle as well. Hourglass, so similar to pear, but it means that you are the same, right? Top and bottom, but things go in the middle.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So for hourglass, you're always going to want to stick to high rise, but you have a lot of freedom for what you would do. So you could do the flare, but you could also do a wide leg. The main thing with an hourglass is you're going to want to stick to the higher rise, so on your waist, but you can do a little bit more of a relaxed bottom there. And then you could also do a skinny too. You might not want to do something as fitted as the rectangle, so maybe you would go into this straight category. But honestly, with hourglass, because you have the balanced shoulders with the hips, you really have a lot of variety.
Every time you say skinny, I think there are millennial people watching who are thinking, yes!
Yes, they have their purpose.
They serve a purpose, they do. Okay, an apple, I think of a really close friend of mine, bigger in the chest.
Yes.
And then also bigger through the rib cage, but has the world's longest little leggies.
Yes.
And so is that kind of a traditional apple?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, you nailed it. That is very much an apple. And it's interesting because they're going to kind of gravitate towards the same silhouettes as the rectangle. So for the rectangle, you've got that long and lean silhouette. So that's what you're following. For the apple, you're balancing that. So because you have those long and lean legs, you're gonna go towards a skinny. That's gonna look amazing on you. And then again, that straight leg, if you want something relaxed during the day, this is a perfect pair too, and then a perfect option as well. And then, yeah, with apples, you're gonna do a little bit, usually apples tend to wear a little bit blousier top, a little bit more boyfriend top, so these are gonna balance that with that
show off.
kind of leaner silhouette.
Show off those little, I'm giving it a little kick line right here. Show off those little leggies.
Yes.
Wonderful information as always. So good to know about these styles that are in right now too as well. Raquel, we thank you for your time. Thank you. All right, DM Raquel on Instagram for more information on her client services at Raquel Greer Gordian, or check out her website, greerimageconsulting.com for